Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'll be breaking down the MLB slate for Thursday, April 13th. We've got a 6-game main slate on for this Thursday. And real quickly before we get started, I want to let you guys know that I am currently on break from school. So I will be available during the mornings and afternoons, which means I'm going to be selling early slate lineups for a week or two while I'm out of school. I usually don't give out early slate lineups because I am busy during that time period, but since I'm out of school for the next week or two, I will be available during the mornings and afternoons. So I'm going to be selling my early slate lineups. So if you're interested in that, then follow me on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT and message me if you want to get an early slate lineup. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started with today's breakdown. Alright, so starting off at pitcher, looking at pitcher, there aren't really many options here that I like besides Madison Bumgarner. I love Bumgarner today, even at 12,500. He is definitely the top pitcher on the slate. Pitching at home in AT&T Park, that is a terrific pitcher's park. It's one of the best ballparks for pitchers, and I love this matchup against the Rockies. The Rockies are not a good team away from Coors Field. They really struggle to put up runs away from Coors. I definitely think if you're playing cash on the slate, you're just going to lock Bumgarner in. Especially if you play on FanDuel where you can only have one pitcher, Bumgarner is definitely going to be the guy you want on the slate. I love this matchup. The Rockies don't hit lefties that well, and playing away from Coors Field, they really struggle. I definitely think you want to pay up for Bumgarner on the slate. He is definitely the top pitcher. Even at 12,500, he is still worth that price tag. I really like Bumgarner today. He's definitely going to be the pitcher that I pay up for today. And then a couple more pitchers that I like. I do like Jon Gray today in that same game. This is a really good pitcher's park, like I already said. And the Giants, they don't hit righties that well, but I can't pay that price tag for Jon Gray. I'm not going to be playing him today at $10K. That is way too much for me. I do like the matchup and the ballpark, but $10K, that is way too much. Jon Gray is a solid pitcher when he's away from Coors Field. He does struggle at home in Coors, obviously, because that is a great hitter's park, but away from Coors Field, he is a solid pitcher, but he's not worth a $10K price tag in my opinion. Even when he was playing away from Coors Field on April 3rd against Milwaukee, his price was $7,800, and for $10K, that is just way too much. So I'm not going to be on Jon Gray specifically because of his price. I do like the matchup, though, and the ballpark, but I won't be playing him at that price tag. And then for SP2s, one guy I like is Wei-Yin Chen pitching at home against the Mets. Wei-Yin Chen just faced this team on April 7th, and he put up 20 DraftKings points. He pitched 6 innings, had 5 strikeouts, only allowed 1 run. So he did look solid the first time they played, and he's going to be getting them today at home this time. So I like Wei-Yin Chen at just $7,700. His price did drop from his last time out, and he had 20 DraftKings points in that game. He could definitely repeat that stat line today. Although the Mets have been hitting the ball pretty well, I still like Chen. The Mets aren't as good against lefties as they are righties, so if you're going to look for an SP2 for DraftKings, you can definitely target him at just $7,700. And then one more SP2 I like is Jason Vargas pitching at home against Oakland. Oakland, they are not a very good hitting team, and I really like Vargas' price at just $6,300 for this matchup. He did look very solid in his first outing against Houston on April 7th. He pitched 6 innings, had 6 strikeouts, and only allowed 1 run. And he posted 23 DraftKings points in that game. He could definitely have a similar game today against Oakland. They do strike out a lot, so I do like Vargas as well if you need an SP2. Oakland, they don't score very many runs. They are a strikeout team, and playing in KC, that is a good pitcher's ballpark, so I like Jason Vargas as well for SP2. I definitely think you can target him at just $6,300. And yeah, those are pretty much all the pitchers I like. I definitely think you're going to pay up for Bumgarner on this slate, and if you play on FanDuel, you're just going to lock Bumgarner in. But for DraftKings, where you have to have 2 pitchers, the guys I'm going to be looking at for my SP2 are Wei-Yin Chen and Jason Vargas. Those are the 2 SP2s that I like on this slate. But yeah, let's go and move on to catcher. Alright, for value today at catcher, one guy I really like today is Salvador Perez at just $3,600 going up against Jesse Hahn. Hahn is not a good pitcher. He did not look that good in his first outing. And I love Perez today. With the way he's been playing, you can definitely play him today. In his last 4 games, he's put up 19, 14, 14, and 3 DraftKings points. So he has been hitting the ball very well. He's already had 4 home runs this year, so he's been showing off his power. He could definitely take Jesse Hahn deep today. Hahn will give up home runs, so I like Salvador Perez. If you need some value at catcher, you can definitely target him at just $3,600. Another value play that I like for $100 less is Wellington Castillo going up against Francisco Liriano. Liriano looked like absolute trash in his first outing. He posted negative 11 DraftKings points, especially going up against Baltimore. I definitely think Liriano is going to struggle again. Baltimore does have a ton of good righties who can hit lefties well, and Castillo is one of them. He does crush lefties. You can definitely target him today at just $3,500. That price tag is very cheap for this matchup, and I like the ballpark as well, playing in Toronto. That is a pretty good hitter's park. And with the way Liriano looked in his first game, he did not look good. So I definitely think you can stack the Orioles today. They're one of my favorite stacks today. I think Liriano is going to struggle again. And then one more value catcher that I like today is Nick Hundley at 3K going up against John Gray. With Buster Posey out of the lineup, Hundley has been getting the start. He started on Monday against Arizona and posted 19 DraftKings points. So if Hundley is going to be in the starting lineup today, you can definitely target him at just 3K if you need some value at catcher. Whenever he gets the chance to play, he does produce. He will do well. And going up against John Gray, Gray will struggle at times. He will definitely give up hard contact and plenty of home runs. And Nick Hundley is a pretty solid power hitter. So if you need some value, you can definitely target him at just 3K if he is in the starting lineup today. And yeah, those are some value plays that I like at catcher. Let's go and move on to first base. All right, for first base value, I really like Mark Trumbo today at just 4K, going up against Francisco Liriano. A lot of the Orioles seem way underpriced for this matchup, and like I already said, I definitely think the Orioles are going to be able to score a lot of runs today. I think Liriano is going to struggle again, and I definitely think Mark Trumbo has a great chance to take Liriano deep. Liriano will give up a ton of home runs, and Trumbo is one of the best power hitters in the league. And playing in Toronto, that is a great hitter's park. I really like Mark Trumbo today. He's one of my favorite plays at just 4K. I think that price tag is way too cheap. If I had to pick somebody to go deep on this slate, it would definitely be him. I think he has a great chance to hit a home run against Liriano, so I really like Mark Trumbo today. If you need some first base value, you can target him. Another value play I like today is Brandon Belt at just 3,700, going up against John Gray. Belt will be getting the platoon split advantage against Gray. Gray does not do well with lefties. Lefties hit him very well. And I definitely think you can target Brandon Belt, even though he is playing at home in AT&T Park. That park does favor pitchers. I still like Belt today at that cheap price tag and given the matchup. So you can definitely target him as well if you need some first base value. I really like that price tag and getting the platoon split advantage against Gray. You can definitely target him. Gray will give up a lot of home runs, and Belt has already shown off his power this year, hitting 3 home runs. So I like him if you need first base value. And one more value play I like today at just 3,600 is Logan Morrison going up against Luis Severino. The Rays are going to be playing in New York today, and that ballpark is one of the best ballparks for lefties. And Logan Morrison's going to be getting the platoon split advantage as well, going up against the righty and Severino. Severino will give up home runs. And like I already said, the Yankees ballpark is one of the best ballparks for lefties. Lefties just always do well there. So you can definitely target Logan Morrison today if you need some first base value. I really like that price tag of just 3,600. And given the matchup and the ballpark, you can definitely target him. He has already shown off his power this year, going deep twice. I definitely think he has a good chance to go deep today against Severino. And playing in New York, I love that ballpark for lefties, so I like Logan Morrison for first base value. And yeah, those are a couple of value plays I like today. At first, let's go and move on to second base. All right, for second base value, I really like Scooter Gennett today at just 3,800, going up against Jimmy Nelson. Gennett's going to be playing at home in the Great American Ballpark, which is a great hitter's park. And also, since Jimmy Nelson is a righty, Scooter's going to be getting the platoon split advantage. And the Reds will platoon him, which means whenever a righty is on the mound, he is usually in the starting lineup. He has been really hot lately. In his last 2 games, he's put up 16 and 28 DraftKings points. So he's been hitting the ball very well this year. He's already hit 3 home runs this year. And I really like this matchup going up against Jimmy Nelson. Nelson is not a good pitcher, and playing in the Great American Ballpark is a great ballpark for hitters. I love Scooter Gennett today. If he is in the starting lineup, you can definitely target him at just 3,800. I definitely think he is going to do well today. Another value play I like at 3,600 is Starlin Castro going up against Matt Andriese. I really like Castro today, playing at home in the Yankees ballpark. That is a great hitter's park. And given the matchup against Andriese, I definitely think Castro is going to do well. He has been hitting the ball very well lately. In his last 4 games, he's put up 6, 8, 7, and 16 DraftKings points. So he's been really consistent. And his price has not reflected on how consistent he's been. He's still too cheap at just 3,600. So if you need more second base value, I like him today at that cheap price. He should definitely be a lot more expensive than that. And then one more value play I like for 100 less is Jonathan Scope going up against Francisco Liriano. Like I already mentioned, I definitely think the Orioles are going to be a popular stack today. All of them seem way underpriced on DraftKings, and I love Scope at just 3,500. I definitely think that price is too cheap for this matchup. With the way Liriano looked, he looked like absolute garbage in his first game, and I think he's going to struggle again today, like I already said. So I love Jonathan Scope, especially if you're going to stack the Orioles. You're definitely going to want to include him in that stack. Although he hasn't been seeing the ball that well this year, I definitely think he is going to do well. I think the Orioles are going to be able to put up a lot of runs, so I like Jonathan Scope as well today. If you need some second base value, you can target him at just 3,500. And yeah, those are some value plays I like at second today. Let's go and move on to third base. All right, for third base value, one guy that just seems way too cheap for me today is Nolan Arenado at just 4,200 going up against Madison Bumgarner. Now, obviously, I know this is a terrible matchup and a terrible ballpark, but Arenado is just way too cheap. His price should definitely be a lot more expensive than this. Even though they are playing away from Coors Field, I still like him today at that cheap price. If you need a tournament flyer, you can definitely play Arenado. Nobody is going to be on the Rockies today since they're going up against Bumgarner. They're going to be low owned in tournaments. And Arenado is one of the best hitters in the league. Even though he is going up against Bumgarner, he could still do well today. So if you need a tournament flyer, I like him today at just 4,200. He should be really low owned. And he is one of the best power hitters in the league. He does have a ton of home run upside. So I like him today for tournaments. At just 4,200, I feel like nobody is going to be on him. So for GPPs, you can definitely play Nolan Arenado today. I would consider him a value play at just 4,200 since he should definitely be a lot more expensive than that. And then another third base value play I like today is Travis Shaw at just 3,800 going up against Bronson Arroyo. Shaw just seems way too cheap given the matchup. Playing in the Great American Ballpark, that is a great hitter's park. And Shaw is also going to be getting the platoon split advantage going up against the righty. I love him today if you need some value at third base. Playing with the Brewers this year, he has been doing very well. They have really used him to his full potential. He's been batting cleanup pretty much every day. He's been getting plenty of RBIs. He's been hitting the ball pretty well. He's already had 7 RBIs this year. He's batting .267, which is pretty solid. I definitely think the Brewers are going to be able to put up a lot of runs today. Rayo is not a good pitcher, and playing in this ballpark, I love Shaw. I definitely think you can target him for third base value at just 3,800. And then one more value play I like at just 3,400 is Mike Moustakas going up against Jesse Hahn. Moustakas is going to be getting the platoon split advantage going up against the righty. I definitely think you can target him today with that cheap price tag. This isn't a great ballpark. Kansas City's ballpark is a pitcher-friendly park, but I still like the matchup. Jesse Hahn is not a good pitcher, and Moustakas has actually been doing pretty well lately. In his last 4 games, put up 7-3, 17, and 0 DraftKings points. And he has flashed off his power this year. He's already hit 3 home runs this year. I definitely think he has a chance to go deep against Hahn. Jesse Hahn will give up home runs. So I like Mike Moustakas today. If you need third base value, you can target him at just 3,400. And yeah, those are some value plays I like today at third base. Let's go ahead and move on to shortstop. All right, looking at shortstop, there aren't many value plays here. I definitely like paying up today at shortstop and going with Manny Machado at just 4,700 against Francisco Liriano. 4,700 just seems way too cheap. With the way Liriano looked, like I already said, I think the Orioles are going to put up a lot of runs today. I'm definitely going to be stacking them. And I love Machado today at just 4,700. Machado's last 4 games, his price has been 56, 51, 5K, and 5,100. So you're getting a huge discount on him at just 47. And given the matchup against Liriano, Machado is going to be getting the platoon split advantage. And playing in the Toronto ballpark, that is a great hitter's park. So I love paying up for Manny Machado today. If there would be a position I would pay up for, it would definitely be shortstop and going with him. But there are a couple value plays I like here. Like I already mentioned, I do like Starlin Castro today. You can play him at second or short. And there is one value play down towards the cheaper end at just 3,500. And that's Brandon Crawford going up against John Gray. Crawford is going to be getting the platoon split advantage against Gray. Gray is a righty, and Crawford does bat left-handed, so that's going to favor him. Like I already said, I don't really like this ballpark for hitters, but you can still target Crawford today at just 3,500. He does hit righties very well, and John Gray will definitely struggle at times, and he will give up home runs as well, and Crawford is a pretty good power hitter. So I like him if you need some shortstop value, but I think the optimal play at shortstop is definitely going to be to pay up for Machado, where he's just 4,700. But if you can't afford the salary and you need some value, I do like Brandon Crawford today at his cheap price. And yeah, those are a couple of value plays I like at shortstop. I'm definitely going to try and pay up here for Machado. But if you need value, I like Starlin Castro. You can play him at second or short. And I like Brandon Crawford as well. But yeah, let's go and move on to outfield. All right, for outfield value, one guy that I really like today at just 3,900 is Adam Jones going up against Francisco Liriano. Looking at BVP, Jones has crushed Liriano in his career. In 21 at-bats against Liriano, Adam Jones has had 8 hits, he's had 3 home runs, and he's batted .381. So he has really done well against Liriano, and I love his price tag today at just 3,900. In Adam Jones' last 4 games, his price tag has been 46, 45, 42, and 4,300. So you're getting a really good discount on him today at just 3,900. And getting the platoon split advantage as well. He's definitely going to be a guy that I target. Also, I like that they're playing in Toronto. That is a great hitter's park. I know I'm giving you guys a lot of Orioles today, but I definitely think they are going to be a good stack that you want to target. Another value play that I like at that same price tag is Jacoby Ellsbury going against Matt Andriese. Also looking at BVP, Ellsbury has done pretty solid against Andriese in his career. 10 at-bats, not much of a sample size, but He's had 4 hits, batted .400 against Andreessi, so he has seen him well in those 10 at-bats. I definitely think you can target Ellsbury today, playing at home in the Yankee Stadium. Like I already mentioned, that is a great hitter's park for lefties. And Ellsbury has actually been pretty consistent in his last 4 games. He's put up 3, 5, 7, and 7 DraftKings points, so he has been producing. And he has been hitting the ball pretty well this year. He's batted .348. He's already shown off his power, going deep once. So I do like Jacoby Ellsbury today. If you need more outfield value, you can definitely target him at just $3,900. I like this matchup and the ballpark. That price tag is pretty intriguing as well. So I like Jacoby Ellsbury. And then one more value play that I want to mention that I like for tournaments is Carlos Gonzalez going up against Madison Bumgarner. Now, like I already mentioned with Nolan Arenado, I definitely think the Rockies are going to be low owned today because they're going up against Bumgarner. But looking at BVP, Cargo has actually done really well against Bumgarner. In 56 at-bats, he has had 18 hits and batted .321, and he's taken Bumgarner deep 5 times. Now, I know probably a handful of those 56 at-bats were played in Coors Field, but even with that in consideration, Cargo has done really well against Bumgarner, whether they've played at Coors or not. So I definitely think you can target him today. You're getting a huge discount on him at $3,800. In Cargo's last 4 games, his price has been over $5K in 3 of his last 4 games. So I love his price tag today at just $3,800. If you need a low-owned tournament play with plenty of upside, you can definitely target Cargo. Nobody's going to be on him today. Nobody's going to be on the Rockies, so I like them. They have really good upside, even though they're playing away from Coors. And yeah, those are some outfield value plays I like today. I'm going ahead and give you guys my top 5 plays for tonight. Alright guys, so this is half of my lineup filled out with my favorite pitcher for tonight, along with some of my favorite value hitters. Like I already said during the video, I love the Orioles today. As you can see in my lineup, I have, out of my 4 hitters, I have 3 of them are Orioles, and I'm definitely going to be stacking the Orioles today. I think they're going to put up a lot of runs, and all the Orioles are way underpriced on DraftKings, so you're definitely going to want to take advantage of that. But yeah, if you guys want to get the other half of my lineup, then follow me on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT and send me a message, and I will get you a lineup for whatever site you play on. Even if you play on FanDuel, I give out FanDuel lineups as well. So message me on Twitter if you want to get my lineups. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I am going to be giving out early slate lineups for the next week or 2 since I'm out of school. And since I'm out of school, I will have the time to do the research and make lineups during the afternoon. So if you want to get early slate lineups, then message me on Twitter. And I will still be doing main slate lineups as well. So if you want those as well, then follow me on Twitter like I said and message me. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed. I do upload these videos every day, so I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. And if you never want to miss out on any videos, then click the bell icon next to my YouTube name, and that'll notify you every time I upload. So if you never want to miss out on a video, please be sure to do that. I would really appreciate it. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Good luck tonight, guys. Peace.
Sleep through day, then we play all through